Self-improvement, you can do it through books, you can do it through YouTube University, and you should be doing those. I'm continually doing those. I'm always learning from others who have been in the space. Maybe they're a couple years ahead of me. Those are the people I learn best from. Those are the people that you should be learning from. However, free can only take you so far. All right, welcome back to the podcast where we always challenge the conventional thinking and thinking. We're always just trying to unfollow the herd. I talked about this all along 2023, and I'm continuing to talk about it even more in 2024. And what I really want to talk about today is, why are you throwing away $950,000? And now I know what you're thinking. You're like, Mark, I'm not throwing away $950,000. That would be absolutely crazy. And I hope that you would think that at least. But I want to think about what people are throwing away each year, saying, I know anyone in the world can make $1 million a year, right? But if you say, I make $50,000 a year, it's really costing you $950,000 a year every year that you continue to make that same wage, unless you make a change or you change the framework or your mindset. So in this podcast, I'm going to literally talk to you about how to change your mindset to think like a millionaire. And really, how do you get out of the dumb tax of paying $950,000 every single year if that's all you want to make, right? I want to change the way you think. So let's kind of dive into this a little bit, and let's just talk about the limiting beliefs, about what's possible, and you're accepting, your status in life effectively and what you're doing. What is it costing you? I want you to think about, what is it really costing you not going out of your comfort zone? What is it costing you not to learn a new skill? What is it costing you not to take a few risks here and there? The biggest question that I've always seen asked to me in most real estate investors, more obviously into business as well, but everyone wants to get into their first deal. How do I do my first deal? And, without getting out of your comfort zone, without learning new skills, and without doing some kind of risk that's more than just doing the norm and investing in bonds or just keeping your W-2 job, you're not going to get there. I'm just telling you right now. Self-improvement, although can be, you can do it through books, you can do it through YouTube University, you can do it through, and you should be doing those. I'm continually doing those. I'm always learning from others who have been in the space. Maybe they're a couple years ahead of me. Those are the people I learn best from. And those are the people that you should be learning from. However, free can only take you so far. It's funny because when I was in 2023, I was going to take on some mentors and just do it for free. Just do it for fun. I was going to learn some of the questions that they would ask me and maybe use them for content, what I'm doing here. But what I realized is they didn't take it seriously, and they were not taking action. I thought these guys were going to take action. It was it was like, hey, these are 1-hour phone calls that I can't get back in 2023 that were literally invaluable to that person, but they weren't going to take the action that I told them to do anyway. They weren't going to take any action. They were just here to get my advice and be around me. And that, hey, that's great. But then I started learning that I started charging for it, which I thought seemed a little arrogant. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to charge for it. So I got some consulting on what I should charge and how I should do it. And I did. I took on 3 different mentors at the end of Q4 2023. And now those people take it serious. We're doing action. We're trying to get the most out of each call. We are they have paid money to cause a future action outcome that they were not able to do it themselves. They were not able to commit without paying that money. Once they paid the money to be in the mentorship, they're like, I'm all in. Let's do whatever you got to say. I'm listening. And so they ask very good questions. They come well prepared. These people are, from anyone to anyone that needs help getting to the commitment phase. Because when you're in the commitment phase, you want to learn how to take action, right? You're committing to taking action now. And because you didn't have those other students really didn't have any financial capabilities to this. Now the paid ones, now they're like, hey, I'm all in. I need to get the most out of this. This is what I need to get this future outcome transformation to happen to me. Whether most people want to earn their time freedom back, some people want to just have do whatever they want during the day. Obviously, still, again, it all ties back to time freedom. People want to earn their time back and do what they want to do when they want to do it. What they're not willing to do, though, is what I find out is they're not willing to go through some kind of pain, some kind of uncomfortableness, some kind of education path to get there or commit to that. Because remember, things don't just get easier. You have to go through some pain before it gets easier. You have to delay the gratification. And so once you understand that you're paying the $950,000 dump tax each year, if you could be earning potentially $1 million a year, if you told yourself in 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, I need to be earning that and it's costing me more money every month, every year that I don't do that, then what does it really cost for you to invest in yourself? So I'm just kind of telling you what I've learned through the series of mentorship. And hey, if you are into mentorship, there's only a select few students that I work with. I don't do this on a big scale. I do this on a very small scale with very highly energized, motivated students that really want to take like their career to the next level. Like they're ready to go and they're willing to commit. And if that's something that interests you, DM me the word mentoring. You'll get an application and we vet them very hard. You're not just in because you are a person and you have the money. You actually have to be a person that I'm willing to help and that, you can afford some kind of money to pay to be in this. Because again, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why would I be invested? Why would I want to invest my time in you? So, you have to think about it. But if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, new skills, and, really going to take on a few more risks than you're used to, DM me the word mentoring and I'll see if I can help you. And like I said, I only take on a few students at a time. So it's very, very, we probably get the most outreach in mentoring. So if it's something you want to do, again, doesn't hurt, get the application in, see if it's something that, hey, we can work together. And like I said, DM me the word mentoring. So, but getting back to like the dump tax, right? Like, it's so funny that like, I kind of relate this to the health. Like people are like, oh, $200 a month for a gym pass. That is ridiculous. When, they're watching their cable bill is probably more than that, or their internet bill, or their car payments $800 a month. And I don't want the regular version. I want the luxury version that instead of $400, it's $800, and that is completely fine. But a $200 gym membership for 12 months is $2,400 a year. Is literally nothing in retrospect. And so everything's always perspective, right? Like I'm saying, instead of, hey, you only make $50,000 a year, if you made $1 million a year, if you're capable of doing that and you think you're capable of doing that, then it's costing you $950. It's just changing the mindsets, flipping the script on how you think about it. Now you're like, okay, Mark, I'm interested. How do I get to $1 million a year then, right? Like that's the big question. And while I don't have the perfect answer for you, but I can build you a path to get there, right? Like I think for everyone that has a future outcome that they want to hit, you can just work backwards from the steps. And I always start with like a 10-year plan, like figure out if you have no clarity on that, on how you're going to make $1 million a year, like, hey, maybe instead of 1 flip a year, you're going to do 15 flips a year. Okay, then it's just a scaling up thing. Hey, if I'm going to climb the corporate ladder, I can't help you with that, right? Like I don't know how to climb the corporate ladder. I know things to ask your boss and KPIs that you can improve to get a raise at your job, but I can't help you climb the corporate ladder. So obviously within entrepreneurship, flipping, real estate, business, how do you really level up? How do you scale your, it usually costs more people a lot of time to think small, and it's actually much easier to think really big. Like the 10X rule is a rule by nature. It's not a Grant Cardone thing, but it's just a rule that, hey, instead of just thinking one of something or two of something, and hey, I'm going to take my restaurant biz from 1 location to 3, let's, and that's a 5-year goal. Let's take it to 30, right? Like, let's take it to 50. Let's start thinking bigger, because you're going to change your mindset. And everything lies between our two ears in what's holding us back. And so once you can get to a commitment level, and that's really how I've made it through my breakthroughs. I was just a small concrete guy that with small-minded thinking, I didn't really know business. It's not something my dad taught me. So I had to think about, I was like, wow, how great would it be to have from 3 employees to 20? Hey, man, I'll have so much time freedom. I was just working harder, right? And I was trying to give everyone these to-do lists and keeping everything in check. Well, that ended up me in the hospital. So bigger was not better. Now, when you go bigger and scale the correct ways, you can scale a thing and actually get your time back and own a business that works for you, not you're running the business or the business is running you. You've heard some of that. And so once you flip the script and say, how do I start pulling myself out of roles, right? You're replaceable, whether you think yourself as replaceable or not. But what is the lowest dollar value things? That's really what I'm planning in 2024 compared to 2023. I'm trying to get me in the highest dollar value tasks possible. If I can earn $500 an hour doing this thing, but this is more of a $100 an hour, $50 hour task, it's should I be doing that? Or should I find someone that really is passionate about that and loves doing that? Those are the types of things that I'm really thinking about in 2024. And I think as a mindset, as a person who's listening to this and trying to go to $1 million a year, you need to figure out how to get your dollar value up. Everyone has an hourly, whether it's a wage, a salary, you're an entrepreneur that owns a business. We all work for a dollar value. You need to figure out what that is. And if you can literally buy back your time and do it, I just ran Dan Martell's book, Buy Back Your Time. Now, if you're worth $100 an hour, the rule of 4 is that if you divide that by 4, now you should be offloading some of the tasks, the lower tiered tasks that are $25 an hour and below. If someone could do that task for $25 an hour and you could go lift yourself up doing the tasks that you like and getting the highest dollar value for those that literally amp you up every single day, you should be delegating those tasks or hiring another person to handle those tasks. That is the way you want to think if you're a business owner and you do not want to be the best person within your business, even though you think you are. And you might be, but that just means you're just not hiring the right people. You're not hiring people better than you. You need to get to that level. And that was one of my breakthroughs. I was stuck in the mud with these 15 to 20 guys and I was running them all. I was doing everything. I was the best concrete pourer. I was, whatever. And I could sell the best and whatever, I was doing everything though. So of course I was the best. I wasn't getting everyone else a chance to be better than me. So once I started converting my work into numbers instead of I was just the best at everything and we're going to do more every year, I started getting KPIs and tracking data on how do we do more. Okay, now what am I doing each day? I'd start tracking every half hour. What am I doing? And it's you can see in areas why am I doing that task? That's a $10 an hour task. There's people out there, baby boomers are guilty of this. They do $2 an hour tasks all day long. And they'll just do it because they're busybodies and they think it helps it with you need to be doing that. You don't have to be doing that. You just need to give someone processes and systems to work up the ladder so you can be doing the higher leverage tasks and delegate the lower leverage tasks. It's something my dad struggled with. And once you get to that mindset, you can really start to break through. So you're going to lose margin because of this. If you're a 10 owner, if you have 10 employees within your company or maybe your team, whatever. And as you're going to hit barriers and you're going to be oh man, now I need to replace now I'm not only I can't even do sales anymore. I need to hire a sales guy because I need to have more volume for the business to happen. And I'm the only guy relied on sales. I've worked through this for years. I'm still part of that game. How do I replace myself? How do I bring highly skilled people to help build a sales funnel really for my businesses? Though sales is always a hard one to replace yourself on. It's also the highest leverage task though. It's where you make your money really in business. It isn't sales and marketing. Everything operational and below. I know lots of business owners that are in the operational and below. They hire out someone to be the marketer sales guy, the face, right? As they would call it in business. And once they do that, guess what? Their business starts exploding again because they are where they operate the best, and they hired someone else. They realize I am the weakest here, and I know I need to pay someone really well to take this business to the next level. And it might be a little painful out of the gate because you're not willing to pay anyone else anything. But if you are willing to do it and take your business to the next level with a key person, guess what? You will never regret that in your life. And that's the only way I was able to break through every time, break my mindset of saying, hey, I got to save money on this employee. I need to hire the cheapest. Those employees have never been the best of the best, right? Like going out and finding the best employee will push your company up. And if that's not where you want to go, then you're probably not a business owner, or maybe you operate a business and you're like, it's good as it is. And you're not a big thinker thinking you want to make $1 million a year. That's who this podcast is for. And I wanted to really explain, if you're a business owner, and maybe you're just doing real estate on the side and you're flipping. Again, as you go from 1 to 15 homes, it's the same thing. You're not going to be able to be the project manager. You're not going to be able to put all the drywall patches in. You're not going to be the guy to hang all the disc lights from the ceiling or put the countertops in, right? Like you can't be that guy on 15 of them. It's impossible. And guess what? That is the lowest tiered paying jobs on the market. Again, where's your opportunity cost? It's probably in sales, finding the deals, closing on the deals. Get some processes and systems for have an operational team. Go and knock out the retrofit or whatever you got to do to this flip, and then build some systems around that, and then be able to get it back to market. Build some timelines around that. Hey, if it's a stage 1 flip, maybe it's paint, carpet, flooring, some kitchen cabinets and tops. Maybe that's a stage 1. Stage 2 is, hey, we're adding lighting and we're, maybe changing walls and we're adding a new patio door and doing like a little bit structural stuff. Maybe that's a stage 2. Maybe just stage 3 is like a full gut. Like this thing's going to be a full flip. We got 90 days with it. This is when it's got to be done. You're building systems for each thing. So that way, a whole sales cycle. A stage 1, I need 30 days. Stage 2, 60. Stage 3, I need a 90. And I'm able to get it back to the market and sell it. So you want to think in the process of whether you're a flipper, you're a business owner that I've explained, you want to think in the scale, like 10x your thoughts. If you want to do 1 deal this year, let's try to figure out how to do 10. And guess what? You will start to land at least 1. Maybe you do 2. Maybe you hurt yourself out of the gate, but you wouldn't hurt yourself out of the gate, but you would learn something. You would learn how to close a deal. It's like, okay, I need to be able to do 1 a month, not 1 a year. Because once you start thinking bigger, your mindset will change and you will start saying, this is possible. Start saying yes instead of always telling yourself no. So guys, hope you learned something. I think that if you are paying the dump tax and $950,000, whether it's through doing your first real estate deal, learning how to scaling a business, or maybe you need to find a mentor. Again, if you're not willing to pay for mentorship to get you to break this cycle and get into the millionaire's mindset, I think you should go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, click a thumbs up. That helps me. Share this with another entrepreneur, another business, maybe it's in corporate. Share this with someone that'll help. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.